Dark and Darker is in the final days leading up to the wipe. Now is the time to reflect on this season and where everything has ended up. We're covering the monumental developments in Dark and Darker this season. These reflections will get us excited for what's to come after the wipe. It's been truly awesome to see the introduction of Arena mode to Dark and Darker, and a focus on bringing forth a more balanced approach towards the game's development. While perhaps things have been shaky at times, sometimes sweeping changes isn't always the best approach when it comes to sorting out something like balance. It's still worth experimenting with to get it right though. You can tell from the countless patches since those turbulent waters, they have ironed out a lot of the kinks in the game and made the whole process streamlined. The game used to be far more time consuming and painstaking. The devs have introduced a new experimental balancing system and let us loose in the arena with the best items that gold can buy. As someone who spends far too many hours in Dark and Darker, I couldn't be more thrilled with the state of the game, and I'm exceptionally excited moving towards the next wipe. Rumor has it that if you like the video and subscribe, you will be paired into your next arena game with an insane carry who will kill all 3 enemies 3 rounds in a row. That's just what I heard. Up to you to decide if it's hearsay, but you can't lose anything if you heed the advice of the rumor. Arena mode has changed Dark and Darker fundamentally. With an entirely new way to engage with the game, players were finally able to test their mettle against each other in this thrilling 3v3 mode. Don't have 2 friends to play with? Don't worry, this brand new mode brought along with it a Find a Friend program that links players in your local area. For the first time, I'm making friends in Dark and Darker rather than slaughtering all who stand before me, or being slaughtered. You get the idea. It was a bit of a crazy thing with all the monsters initially, but I think Iron Mace has found a happy medium. Bringing in our own found and crafted gear was a cool concept to tie dungeons to arena, but ultimately, with change to allow all gear to stay with you, win or lose, this is the most fun the system has ever been. At least for me. I can finally try out all the builds I have been dying to test without punishment. With the addition of the ranked system, we now have a new ranked leaderboard and set of rewards. The arena system is becoming fully fleshed out. We still need some tweaks, like those goddamn ladders, but otherwise, I'm enjoying the arena chaos. I can't wait for all the new arena maps. The balancing itself was a little all over the place this season. At times, barbarians with squire kits were taking out fully juiced players. No amount of beef could have prepared those buffed up adventurers for the biss that squire was packing. It was an unusual time to be playing Dark and Darker. After some careful consideration, the most of the sweeping changes were somewhat reversed, and we were left with some really solid balancing. Now, I'm sure if I don't say something, I'll get some people complaining in the comments about how this or that is too powerful, but just take it from someone who plays every single class and is constantly experimenting with them. This is one of the best balances that we've seen in Dark and Darker for a long time. The devs have a close eye on the balance. Over time, the fine-tuning has fluctuated, but it's always ended up better than where we first began. The treasure changes were truly amazing for me to see. As a player who spends way too much time on this game, routinely fights the bosses and hunts for the best loot in the game, I found these changes to be exceptionally positive. The way I see it, I spend less time grinding in the dungeons for loot and more time enjoying the game. It's never been easier for new players to get into Dark and Darker and get geared up. This is a change that will ultimately help grow the Dark and Darker community. I couldn't be more thrilled with the direction the devs are taking this. I think it's also important to remember who exactly are behind Dark and Darker as well at times like these. Countless video games are at the whims of greedy executives who seek for nothing more than to drain your wallet of every last gold piece you hold. They develop games that are predatory, addictive, and overpriced. They design systems around stealing. They ask, how can we make the most out of the players? Not what will be the most fun. So remember to cherish the devs that are out there, not just to make a quick buck on the unsuspecting consumer, but those who truly want to make a great game. The Dark and Darker devs have been struggling with an unjust lawsuit since the inception of the game that has bogged them down. And despite this pervasive and unethical lawfare, the devs are still pushing on to make Dark and Darker the most enjoyable game it can be. So be kind to Iron Mace. They're working hard and they will get it right. What are you most excited for in the upcoming future? I can't wait until the Sorcerer finally drops and we get to see some crazy dual spell casting action. And who could have expected the spell merging mechanics? This is going to be awesome. There is a new water level, which is apparently 90% submerged and also introduces new swimming mechanics. We will also see the introduction of randomized dungeons in the crypts as well. We're going to be getting gem slots on our items. I'm so hyped for this wipe. Are you going to be playing the Sorcerer? Let me know in the comment section below what you're most excited for. In other news, life hasn't been so easy for me over the past few months, so I took some time off making videos to center myself. I'm going to try making a few more videos when the passion takes over me. I still have a few scripts ready for production. I think we might even branch outside of Dark and Darker into the realm of other games. Although, don't hold me to it. Now, if you want to see more Dark and Darker content, like tutorials, highlights, let's plays, make sure to check out my Dark and Darker playlist on the screen right now, as that contains any and all things Dark and Darker. Don't forget to like the video if you made it this far and subscribe for more content just like this, where I pour my heart and soul out to you, the dear viewer. Have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.